Lesson 19, it consists of 4 principles. In principle number 1, you will learn about new set of brief forms like example, part. It is represented by P stroke and P stroke. Next, present. P and R stroke. Next, miss. It is represented by M stroke and S stroke. Next, advertise. It is represented by A, V stroke, T, broken I, and left S. Next, opportunity. It is represented by O, P stroke, R. Last brief forms is immediate. It is represented by E stroke, M, and E stroke. Next, we have principle number 2. Number 2, the U sound. It is represented by E stroke and OO hook. Example, use. It is represented by E stroke, OO hook, and comma S. Next, few. It is represented by F stroke, E, and OO hook. Next, view. It is represented by V stroke, E, OO hook. Next example is review. It is represented by R stroke, V, E stroke, and OO hook. Next, unique. It is represented by E, OO hook, and E stroke, and K stroke. Next, unite. It is represented by E, OO hook, and broken I, and T stroke. Next, pure. It is represented by P, E, O hook, and R stroke. Next example, acute. It is represented by A stroke, K, E, O hook, and T stroke. Next, principle number 3. The word ending ment. Is represented by M stroke. For example, payment. It is represented by P, A stroke with ment stroke. Next, management. It is represented by M stroke N into one long forward stroke, J stroke, and M stroke. Next, shipment. It is represented by ish stroke, E, P, and M stroke. Next, advertisement. It is represented by A stroke, V, T, broken I, and left S with M stroke. Next is department. It is represented by D stroke, P, T stroke, and M stroke. Next, equipment. Equipment. Next is equipment. It is represented by E stroke, K, E, P, and M stroke with a dash represented by W sound. Next is movement. It is represented by M, O hook, V, and M stroke. Next, replacement. It is represented by R, P, L, A stroke, left S, and M stroke. Next is settlement. It is represented by comma S, E, P, L, and M stroke. We have principle number 4, the word ending cial. Is represented by each stroke. Example, special. It is represented by S, P, E stroke, and each stroke. Next, partial. It is represented by P, A, R stroke, and each stroke. Next, financial. Financial. It is represented by F, E stroke, N, A, N, and each stroke. Next, social. It is represented by left S, O, and each stroke. Next, official. Next, official. It is represented by O stroke, F, E, and each stroke. Next, initial. It is represented by E, N, E stroke, and each stroke. This is the fourth principle in lesson 19 and the new set of stroke. In lesson 20, there are 5 principles. In principle number 1, we have 12 examples of strokes. The ow sound is represented by A, stroke, O hook. For example, now. It is represented by N, stroke, A, and O hook. Next, down. It is represented by D, A stroke, and O hook, and N stroke. Next, sound. It is represented by S, A, O hook, and combination of N and D. Next, found. It is represented by F, A stroke, OO hook, and the combination of ND stroke. Next, south. It is represented by comma S, A, OO hook, and over ITH. Next, loud. It is represented by L, A stroke, OO hook, and D sound. Next is account. It is represented by A, K stroke, A, OO hook, and NT stroke. Next is round. It is represented by R, A, OO hook, and the ND stroke. Next is principle number 2. The word ending ther is represented by over ITH. Example, other. It is represented by OO hook and over ITH. Next, another. It is represented by A, N, OO hook, and over ITH. Next example is weather. It is represented by OO hook, E stroke, and ther stroke. Next is mother. It is represented by M stroke, OO hook, and over ITH. Next example is gather. It is represented by G, as in gay, A stroke, and over ITH. Next example is either. It is represented by E stroke and under ITH. Next, bother. Other. It is represented by B stroke, O, and under ITH. Next example, bothered. It is represented by B, O stroke, under ITH, and D stroke. Next, we have principle number 3. The word beginning con is represented by K, for example, confer. is represented by K, F, E, and R stroke. Wait lang. Next, concert is represented by K, left S, E, R, and T stroke. Next, convey. It is represented by K, V stroke, and A. Next, considerable. It is represented by K, S, E, D stroke, R, and B stroke. Next, control. It is represented by K, T, R, O, and L stroke. Next, convince. It is represented by K, V stroke, E, N, and left S. Next is concrete. It is represented by K, KRE, and T stroke. Next, contest. It is represented by K, T stroke, E, S, and T stroke. Next, contract. It is represented by K, T, R, K stroke, and T. In principle number 4, the word beginning com is represented by K. Example, complete. It is represented by K, P, L, E, and T stroke. Next, computer. It is represented by K, P, E, O, hook, T, and R stroke. Next, complement. It is represented by K, P, L, E, and M. Next, compare. It is represented by K, P, A, and R stroke. Next, combine. It is represented by K, B, broken I, and N. Next, accomplish. It is represented by A, K stroke, P, L, and each stroke. Next, we have principle number 5. The con is represented by K and N stroke. Com is represented by K and M stroke. Example, connect. It is represented by K, N, E stroke, K, and T stroke. Next, connection. It is represented by K, N, E stroke, K, and each stroke. Next, commit. It is represented by K, M, E stroke, and T. Next is commerce. It is represented by K, M, E, R, and left S. Next, commercial. It is represented by K, M, E, R, and each stroke. Next is accommodate. It is represented by A stroke, K, M, O, D stroke, A, and T stroke. That's all in principle number 5.